Hello and welcome to this tutorial on cygwin. I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I'm doing this later, but this is on a remote server, which is actually Windows 2008 R2. So the first thing we're going to do is put cygwin on the machine. I've got a bit of Google. Why not? This is a new server, you see, this is why I thought I'd take the opportunity. And we're just going to do cygwin and install it. Okay. Now, when you're doing a cygwin installation, you have to be a little bit aware of the path. Is a kind of strange concept on this. Don't worry about that. Okay. So we're going to install from the internet. Now the directory. Now I always do this. It's a bad habit, an old habit, but it's the one I do. Okay, I'm going to make a folder that's new. There isn't a server programs folder. And then I'm going to put this in here as well. There's no reason why it can't be the same place. What they're saying is, where do you want to put cygwin when you install it, and also where do you want it to live and breathe? And they sound like the same thing, but they're not. Okay, and also see, I got internet. Okay, so now it's going to do this. I always pick one at random. I go up, I go down, I go down, I go up, I go down, and then I pick one that's totally random, on the basis that yeah, this is fine. It's just saying, let's get going. Right, okay. Now, I don't bother with any of this. There's a reason, because the way that the cygwin runs, you don't need to bother. Okay? The correct way of doing cygwin, I think, is with apt cig. Okay. So all I'm doing is installing the cygwin basic stuff. Okay. It's putting it in this folder that I've told it to make, which is here. Subprograms cygwin. Okay, so everything's going in there. I don't want it in my program files. I don't want it anywhere near. It's a very different concept to me, and this is to do with the way that the security privileges may have to be looked at in the future. So I do a chown and a chmod sometimes, and if I need to do that, I can do it on server programs and pull it out, and I know that I've done it all. Okay. So I don't mind the icon on the desktop. I don't want it on the. No, okay, we'll keep them both. Why not? Okay, so it's put this bad boy here. Okay. The second thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to Google, is I'm just going to Google cygwin associated. This Noah article is really good, if I remember right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run this terminal, and straight away run this one. Now if I've made a mistake, we'll find out. But yeah, okay, he's saying that I need to do this. Okay, right. The next thing I want to do then is not that. It's okay, which is pretty nice. Okay, apt cig. The order this gets done in is a little bit freaky, so let's just here we go. Okay, so there is a this is not it. There's a really good article. Unfortunately, I'm not normally on. Lost. Care. Not normally on. I'm just going to go to Google. Okay. Sorry about this. This is not going very well. Okay. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Right. This is the way to do it. Okay. This is the one I was looking for. And you do cygwin and then you do SSHD. Right. So, all I'll do is CD. Okay, so I'm just doing what this guy says. And I'm going to go C. Now this is where I put it, so got a feeling it's set. Oh, .exe is there. I'm just going to check because I can't remember the path structure it comes with. No, it's not. It's in the bin directory, isn't it? Where is it? Sorry, where's the cygwin gone? Ugh. This is so boring. Oh wait, I gotta download it. Of course I do. I'm gonna stick that in the cygwin. Sorry, this is what I was kind of referring to. It's a bit freaky. Okay. Right, good. Okay. Now this should allow me. There it is. Right, good. Okay. And don't want that one. And I want that one. Ugh. And I want that one. Okay. Then I'm going to do this, which is basically just a way of. I don't want by. Don't know what Vim is. Looks like right to me. Right. I'm just going to put that in. Okay. It'll pop up the set of .exe that I've just put in that server programs, and it's doing like an update. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do while that's cooking is I'm going to download putty. Okay. Download putty. Like putty. Okay. I don't know what this verified thing is all about. Okay. Download putty. Copy. So I'm just going to put it in here. Okay. Okay, I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is. Okay, I think I do know what that is. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that. Okay. And so messy. I have to run the command prompt in as administrator. So I think we're good. Oh yeah, sorry. And then I got to do this bad boy. Okay. In here. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to do cygwin serve. Okay, which is doing it. So I don't have to do this now anymore in this. If you know what Linux, you know what the benefit of what I'm talking about is. If you don't, just follow my instructions. But this is an alternate way of installing, and it's by far the best way. So I immediately, when I do a cygwin installation, I bypass all the default stuff involving the setup exe and go straight to cygwin and allow Google to basically update my cygwin. It's a bit of a mouthful of that, but it's pretty powerful. So now what's happening is I'm patching these two steps. I could do this in the setup exe, but I don't want to. Okay, to do with the way that this is running around getting files. Okay, and eventually, when that's up, I can do this. Now, what's all this about? This is about setting SSH. SSH is obviously a big part of Linux. It's basically Linux DOS. It's very powerful because it's secure and it allows you to. This will just run now. Okay. Do I need to type password? I don't think I do. I don't think you need to. Oh wait, I do. Yeah, that's my big password. Right. Okay, and then you don't think you need to bother that one. You just do this. And what this will allow you to do, okay, is not massive, but nice. So I'm going to run that. I don't need to run it as administrator, I think. Still cal host, okay. And what's the name of the server? Okay, so this is straight away asking me the putty question, yes. So this is good. Now I've basically, no, this is whoever you logged in as, and whoever you did the installation under, and I did it under, this is your administrator password, oops. Okay, I don't like that prompt, there's a way of changing it, but basically we're now in a situation where we can install cygwin. So I'm going to do, sorry, apt cygwin install R. I think it's something like that. Okay, and now this is no different to doing it here, but it's a lot nicer. Okay, Rsync server's not there. Okay. I'll look at that later. Okay, for now, that's as far as we can go. I mean, there's a lot more to this. I will put it onto the tutorial later. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is nano. What's going on? Okay, nano is just like a notepad editor in the terminal. The next thing we're going to do is I think it's Here we go. And you go to the very bottom. This is my personal choice. And then you okay, so you put that in at the end, which will make sense in a minute why I'm doing this. Okay, and then I'm going to do exit, Control X, yes, enter. Okay, now I'm going to exit this thing, and I'm going to come back to my putty, which is here. Okay. Okay. That's not doing it. Interesting. What am I doing right? That's it. No, it really hasn't done it. Export, not command not found. This is basically why people don't do it online, because it's so messy. I don't know why it doesn't like the export command. That is it. You think, what am I doing? What is the point of this absolute nonsense? It's supposed to be good. There we go. I got rid of the stupid green squiggle. Okay. So other than logging in as administrator into the root, we've pretty much got what we need so far. The last thing I would recommend, from a point of view of common sense, is into here. Can't remember where the firewall is. Hang on. Here we go. Check firewall. That's not it. Here we go. And this is a bit not good. For the firewall. Yeah, basically I have to just add a firewall in here, inbound rules, new rule, ports, next, 22, next, router connection. Doesn't really matter that. And another one. I don't know for sure that you need TCP and UDP, but I always have done it, so I actually don't know what the basic protocol actually is. I never worked it out. That's a admission, but it's true. So I always have them both, and I've never worried about it ever since. So I don't know. Okay, so so I've gone on my desktop here. Hi, this is just a quick thing to show you the. I'm running putty locally now, not on the machine. I've set up a fake reference, but it's a real internet IP, but I don't know who's watching this. So there, it's coming up. It's the same server. If I log in, this is just to show that I got the port open correctly. Oops. There we go. And there we have the proof, if you prefer. just to show that the server is actually up and we got the firewall open correctly. So we've done some work there. Firewall's open. I can get to it. So from this point in, it's a lot easier to start doing the work. Hello again. The next thing to show you is a little bit of an interesting element. When you do the installation of cygwin on Windows 2012, you will get this privileged server guy. I'm showing you this now on the console. It's a virtual machine, which you can probably guess. Okay. And this is the instructions. So you basically run regedit in order to get rid of this privileged server user, which you don't get rid of it, but I don't want to look at it at the login screen. Okay, so it's local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, and then when log on. What I'm going to do is make that user not appear on the win login. Okay, so the way you do that, I'm just going to make this here, and this is nice to have. It's not essential, but to me, I don't want to know about cygwin user when I'm logging into Windows. This won't disable the user, it will just make it not appear as a prompt. You can still log in as him, but you won't get that little button with his face on it. Right, and also you can flick it back, so you can go back to this video and I'll show you how to flick it back. Okay, so right click on log on and special accounts. New key. Called special accounts, okay? New key user list. New dword 32. Sig server. Double click it. That should be okay. So now, if I've done this correctly, which I hope I have, should be able to log off, log on again. Yeah, it's gone. So it's not incorrect, you stupid computer. Okay, for pity's sake. It's just the shift key is a little bit busted. It's not picking me up every time I hit it. And you're getting that a lot, and it's just this, my PC is a bit goofy. Right, okay. So yeah, we'll do the next one now. Hi, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up passwordless login. You don't need to do this for Rsync to work. By the way, we already have Rsync working in terms of the client, so this server could pull files with Rsync, but I want to have it as an Rsync server as well. Okay, so the first thing to do is log in to PuTTY. In fact, I'll just close that and use this shortcut that I've made. It's the same thing, just to kind of show you. And this is logging into itself. Remember that it's cygwin, not real Linux, so okay. Now I got this little cheat sheet here. Basically, I will put these commands up for you, but the first thing we need to do is find a server. Now this is a server that I know I have, okay? It's on the LAN. So what I'm going to try and do is, assuming this is the server that I want to connect with, which in this case is actually it is. You want to do this. This is a login, just to check it works. It works fine. So I'm now on S2. If I type exit, I'm now on N1. Okay. Now I had to type a password in that time, which is not ideal. So I want to go to my home directory, which is CD. So just have a look. There's nothing in there, and it's home administrator. Right. Okay. So I know where I am. So I'm going to run this command. That's fine. Don't want a passphrase. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is take that. Okay. By the way, just in case you're wondering about the security of what I've just done, obviously I'm doing this in the video, but this is on a LAN, so there's no way this is going to ever get out on the internet. I'm going to have the Rsync hosted, the allowed host list. Okay, so that's important for people to recognise on this server. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is set up the security so that it's basically any number that ends in 00 is basically telling you that unless the owner does it, don't care. So the group doesn't have any rights, then everyone doesn't have any rights. And 6 is everything but execute. Okay, so everybody but the root has pretty much no access apart from the owner, who has enough access to read and write it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this to the remote computer. So I've generated it here. Now I'm going to copy it to the remote computer. The way you do this is like this. Okay, remember the colon at the end. That's important. Okay, so I've made a file called IDDSA, and now I'm going to put IDDSA.pub into, which has also been made, into this other server. Okay. In order for this to work right now, I got to there, so it's copied, but I'm still on this other server. So now I'm going to go back into the server, which I just follow. Oh, of course. I'm not explaining this very well, but I'm now on the other server. Okay, and if I do, I'll see there is already some files there. That's because I've done this process before. Don't worry too much about what is happening here. Okay, I could remove that, no problem. Yeah, and there it is. Okay, you're still there. So at RM. Okay, and then I'm gonna. I don't really need to do it this way, but I'm going to. Okay. So this is an RSA. Sorry, DSA pub. It's a different one. Okay. That existing one is gone, basically. So don't worry too much about what's going on here, other than to follow what I'm doing. So I'm on the other server, okay, and now I'm going to come out, and then I'm going to go back, okay, and this time I don't have to log in. Okay, so the reason is because I put this file manually, excuse me, copying it to the other server here. Okay, so there it is. I then went in and, well, I deleted authorized keys and remade it, but you could do it another number of ways. Okay, the reason why I've deleted it is because actually this RSA pub is actually the previous one. The server that I've actually deleted, the server is gone. There was a virtual machine that's been deleted, so I don't need it anymore. Okay. So that's a good way of showing you how to get the public keys. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is set up the Rsync daemon, which is what this server needs to share its stuff. Okay, and then we'll go through some basic Rsync commands. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a file. Now, what I'm going to do is set it up with a user password. That, for me, because I like to keep things simple, it's probably not necessarily the right thing to do, but I'm going to put administrator and the administrator password in here. You can do something similar, okay? Something different. Whatever user you use is the user that you're going to be using. These users are not part of the computer necessarily. They are users that exist for Rsync only. So you can have Rsync login users. It's not the same as SCP or SSH in this regard. It works under the daemon, and the daemon has its own users that you config. So that secrets file, we then have to make it so that you can't get at it. Okay, so we have the user : password and nothing else in that file. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is change the ownership of the file so that basically no one can touch it. So change the owner to the, yeah, that's the GUID of the root, I think, under cygwin. So, and then change the mode so that it's basically pretty much invisible to anybody but the owner and the group, which are, I'm not 100% sure what 18 and 5544 do, but I'm pretty sure it's related to I'm reading. I think it's related to the GUI, the GID, which we're about to go into now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go and make a conf file. So in this conf file, I'm going to do a couple of things. One is I'm going to paste all this stuff in. This is my username that I did in the secrets file. This is my username. This is telling me that this is the secrets file to use. That's where it comes in. There's a log file happening here, and also there's a hosts allow set, so that it'll only allow LAN people in anyway. Okay. So I'm going to save that, and then finally I'm going to change the mode on it, so that it's basically the guy who owns it is in the group that owns it, it's anyone who can touch it. And then I'm going to do the install. Now this is an install command that installs the daemon. Okay, and the last thing we have is it's a net start command, which that's the service on Windows, believe it or not. Okay, and there it is, it started successfully. Now what that means is that my computer is able to share stuff. Okay, so let's imagine that I've got a folder here, okay, which is www.test with the file test image in it. Okay, so here I am on the other server. Okay, so I'm going to make a new text file, which is just saying Rsync works. Okay, and I'm going to make a new bitmap as well. Edit that. Okay, because this is going to be supplying that. Admittedly, this is the server in this scenario, but it's still a valid experiment. Okay, because I promise you the settings will work. Okay, so I'll just put that in there. Save it. Okay, so you have bitmap and an Rsync. Alright, so Rsync test document. Okay, so this is the document on the other server. Okay, so the way that cygwin works is it doesn't have a C drive. If you do, you will see that there's no C drive in the root. Now the way that it does this is it's suffering from a form of schizophrenia, but it's not a problem because you go okay. Now I'm in the C drive. It doesn't look great, but that is actually it. So if I do there it is. That's my directory. So this is this. I'm now going to rsync this directory with that's the command for it. It's saying I'm going to show me the progress of it, and I want you to delete anything. Also use SSH, and these are your parameters. So this is where I want to go to. This is where I want you to put it. So straight away it picks up those files, and whoops, oh, for some reason it's put them in the wrong place. Have a look at that. That's kind of strange. Don't quite understand that. Maybe it's the lack of a slash at the end. But anyway, that's a small path image problem. I suspect it's because I've missed a slash off the end there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's done it right now. Okay, so that's all that was. Okay, so if you look carefully, because I put the command to delete, it synchronized it and it deleted those things it shouldn't have had, and it downloaded the ones it should have done, which is kind of nice. Just to prove that it's the right one. Yeah, it is. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing in reverse, which is back the other way. This experiment that I've just done is actually a bit incomplete because this is not a server right now. This server is not acting as an Rsync server, it's acting as an Rsync client. Okay, so if I do that, okay, and run this command that I just put in here into the other machine. Okay, so this is the other folder that I want to pull things back from. So now I am running it as a host. Okay, so I'm going to run it this way around. The different IP address slightly is 11. Now because I've already set up the rsync daemon and I've set up SSH to automatically allow without a password, this will run the same. I'm going to put the slash on like I forgot last time, and what this will do, because they're both running cygwin, as you can see, it's the same folder, but that's not really, in a way that's not a brilliant test, but it's okay because I want to clone the servers, so it's a nice touch. Okay, and there it goes. Disappeared. Oh, and it's got a double dot text at the end because I wasn't hiding it correctly, but it's nice that. Okay, that's another thing. That's a really good point. Yeah, the last thing you have to do is, in order to get this issue, if you like, of file permissions to go away, is to add this command line to the etc fs tab file, which I will probably do on it's the client that has to do it. Okay, so in this case it's going to be the client. I'll do it on the server. Okay, so now if I delete that file, okay, and run it again so that it re-pulls it down. We'll now do it without the NTFS file permission issue, he says. So you can see there that the problem is this. Okay, so I've just done a bit of a test here. I believe that the point of this, that is actually correct. So what I'm going to do for now, there is probably a better solution for this, but what I'm going to do to save time is do that, and do it on the other as well, which is O. So you see now I've changed the permissions to be the same. The reason why I go into this is a little bit, if you're having any trouble with the permissions on cygwin after rsync, I actually run it as a cron job, the rsync, and I always run a recursive reset along these lines afterwards as a sort of housekeeping task. But the way to keep on top of it is not to panic, but just to look at files that you know work, because Windows and Linux have a very different idea of file permissions. So if I know that rsync works is in good form for me, okay, and I know you've got an administrator there, so I might for example go, okay, that's a bit weird, so I think I'll have for example on test image, okay, and that makes them the same. Okay, so if for any reason in the future I'm struggling, I'm not struggling anymore because I've used rsync. Sorry, I've used cygwin to tell me what cygwin is doing, and just copied it. Bear in mind that you have an owner, you have a group owner, and you have privileges, and you need to set all like 5 things. You have to set the user privileges, the group privileges, and the everybody else privileges. Okay, and that's the user and that's the group. So you use chmod for these 3, which is actually 3, and you use chown for these 2. So only together, using all that, can you duplicate those. But I very much recommend, rather than wrestling with Linux permissions too heavily, which you can do if you're interested, but a cheat is just to look at what works in Windows and duplicate it. If you're happy, I'm not logged in, for example, as administrator, and I'm happy on this PC. See, that's the reason why this is a problem. I'm logged in as a local user, but that user is a member of the administrator's group. So in Windows that wouldn't matter, but in Linux it was causing havoc. But I promise you, this is the way to go around it. And I would do this as a cron daemon anyway. This command, wherever it's gone. This rsync command would be running as part of a daemon, maybe at 3 in the morning. So I'd immediately run after it these kind of commands, which you can do without too much hassle, by doing this. -R. Okay, so what that will do is it will add to the group the read and execute recursively. Wait, is it -big R? Yeah, and then I want to add to the others the same. It won't do anything to do this, but by running this chmod and maybe a chown as well, you know, to be sure, to be absolutely happy with it. You would run this after. I mean, you probably don't have to go to that level of detail if you know a bit more than me about how this kind of thing really works, but rather than fight too hard with the way that cygwin and Windows work together, because you don't need. It's not just Windows. You kind of in a parallel universe where